Come spend the day with a heart surgeon. Let's get up and get it rolling. First thing every morning, a little hydration after a night's sleep. It's something I got to work on during the day. I never drink enough water, so I figure if I do it right when I get up, it's always a good start. Now we're going to head downstairs and do something hard, get in the cold plunge, even though it's about 34 degrees outside today. It's a little rough. I like to get started every morning with a challenge. For me, it's cold plunging. It's 43, set at 43 degrees, about 44 degrees. Sometimes I just stand here and cuss at the water because I know it's going to be cold. Starting the day with something hard sets the tone for me for the rest of the day. Not to mention, a session of cold immersion just makes me feel so good physically. So let's quit talking about it and get in. 3 minutes, standard in the cold plunge. First minute, typically the most uncomfortable, particularly when it's cold outside like this. Remind myself that it's 3 minutes of my entire day. Just kind of have to let the pain go. Fingertips, feet. All right. 3 minutes in the cold plunge. It's awesome when it's behind me. Refreshing start of the day. Got something hard behind me. My mindset right. Head back upstairs for a cup of coffee. Warm up a little bit. Sit down and read for a bit. There's the best part of the day. A little quiet time with my old boy. Say good morning, Chewy. He's that like a boy. Cup of coffee to help warm up a little bit. Jacket and a hoodie on today because it is cold outside. 34 degrees is cold for Savannah, Georgia. Before I open an email, look at social media, do anything that may be distracting, I read Daily Stoic. And I've been through the book by Ryan Holiday probably 4, maybe 5 times. And honestly, I learn hundreds of things every time I read it. Well worth it. I do it on my phone just so I've always got it with me. January 20th, reignite your thoughts. The second is I check my sleep score. Now, I haven't looked at my sleep score this morning, so I'm going to do it right here with you. For me, the new year has been an opportunity to really work on my sleep. You know, when I look at the various pillars of health span and lifespan for myself and for other people, we're all good at one or a couple of them. It's rare that we're good at all of them. For me, nutrition and controlling my diet, what I put in my mouth is fairly easy and straightforward because I feel like I'm in control of that. Showing up at the gym or going for a run or just doing a body weight exercise at home, I can do that every day. I'm disciplined and I really enjoy it. I enjoy the exercise. So it's easy for me to push myself to do those things. Sleep is really where I struggle. And I have found that the more I try to control it, the worse it gets. And so I've gone through standard sleep studies and am working with a company to improve my sleep. I've been monitoring some data on my own. So my sleep score last night was a 71. Not bad for me, honestly. My HRV, 44, also not bad for me. Heart rate variability. Since I've been struggling with sleep for so long, one of the things that I have found that has made one of the most tremendous differences is 8 Sleep, which has not only given me the ability to track my data so I know exactly where I am and where my opportunities are. We have it on a king size bed, and then it circulates water through the bed. So it cools you to help fall asleep, because that's how our bodies trigger to fall asleep. That's why a hot shower works. If you get in the hot shower and your body temperature slowly comes down, we typically relax and fall asleep. And then to wake up, your body has to heat up by a few degrees, and you naturally trigger the wake up process. And that's what the 8 Sleep does. Without any wearable, it can track this data, which I think is incredible. Due to the impact that the product has had on me, we actually reached out to 8 Sleep and have partnered with them. They're the sponsor of this video today. And if you're interested and you think this is something that might impact you, click the link below. It's like reading a good book or seeing a good movie. This has had such a tremendous impact on my life that I wanted an opportunity to be able to share it with you guys as well. If you're a good sleeper, congratulations. We can always do better in all aspects of our lives. And sometimes, until you actually track the data and evaluate it, you really don't know where you are. For me, I knew how terrible my sleep is. I know how terrible my sleep is, and I had a pretty good idea about how bad my data was going to be. I'm relieved that it was actually pretty good this morning. I wasn't sure what I was going to get when I checked it and shared it with you today, but that's pretty good for me. I'm going to sit and journal for a little while, and then we'll head in and look at the master calendar for content creation and get ready to head into the office to get the day started at work. Heading out the door to the office to get the workday started. Come right along. Early morning at the office gives me some quiet time to record my content, review my cases, and to get my mind right for the day. Now, today is an office day. I don't have any cases to prepare for, but I am going to knock out some content before I head over to the hospital to see my patients. What are a few benefits of higher intensity heart rate training? Well, first, understand that the activity really does. Just completed making hospital rounds, which basically means to see all of the patients that I have admitted into the hospital, either waiting for surgery or are post-operative or after surgery, and recovering and working on getting them home. This whole concept of making rounds comes from the 18th and 19th century teaching model, where the most senior physician would go from bed to bed with residents and medical students, teaching on rounds, checking on each patient, evaluating, and of course teaching along the way. Now I'm going to head back home and try to get in a good workout before I head to office to see patients this afternoon. Headed out on a little family run, getting the workout started. Going to hit a little cardio and then a little resistance training. Let's get after it. Another one in the books. Little 2-mile warm-up run. And headed to the gym, hit chest and triceps. Solid workout. Gonna cool down on a walk home. A little brisk outside, but really pretty. Grab some food, work on a little content, and then head to office for the afternoon. Look forward to it. Post-workout smoothie, mid-morning snack, a little something to hold me to lunch. and an almond tortilla before office, and then head out. So Mondays are my office day, and I typically try to arrange them like I have this one, where I get up early, I have time to myself first thing in the morning, then I go by the office, do some work, do my content, see my patients, and then I have several hours to be able to do some personal stuff like working out, so that I'm not trying to get to that through the course of the day. It's off my mind. I can check that box and I'm fully concentrated, because in office, I really see two types of patients. The first are preoperative patients, or patients waiting to have surgery, and the second are postoperative follow-ups. The follow-ups, assuming patients aren't having any problems, are really just social visits to make sure that patients are doing well, and then we get them back to their primary cardiologist for continued follow-up. But the preoperative patients, as you might imagine, require full engagement and attention to discuss several things. The first is what's wrong with them, what we're going to do to them, what some of the potential risks, benefits might be, and of course, discuss the alternatives. Now, although this is referred to as informed consent in most cases, I like to call it educated consent, because my job is not to talk patients into or out of an operation. It's to educate patients and their families about all of those different facets so that they're making the best decision for themselves, so that they understand the ramifications of having an operation or potentially not having an operation. And this requires a fair amount of attention. So I like to be fully focused. I try not to see more than about 6 preoperative patients. We usually start office around 1 o'clock in the afternoon, and I don't like to be rushed in this particular setting because I like to be very thorough, and I mainly like to give patients and their families ample opportunity to have all of their questions and concerns addressed before we head down the road of operation. So that's where I'm headed now. We're going to punch out to office and see some patients. Time to start winding down with dinner and the family. We've got some fresh made chicken, greens, avocado, kind of a light dinner since bedtime's not far away. A little hydration. Finishing up the day. It's been a long one. When you get up early, you got to go to bed early. The 8 sleep is calling my name. Gonna bookend it just like we started it this morning. I've got it set on igloo, -10. I'm a hot sleeper, so it cools me down quite a bit. Get in bed, hopefully get another good sleep score tonight, rinse and repeat, get up and do it again. I hope you guys have a great night.